guys, welcome back to another Filling Our TPs episode. Today we'll be looking at the Depression Survival Guide that you would have gotten in your kits. I just wanted to remind you guys that we will be opened up again Tuesday 20th, where we'll be doing in-person sessions with a bunch of fun activities. So keep an eye open and come on, stop by and talk with all of our staff. Alright, so the Depression Survival Guide, let's get started. This document is only a selection of suggestions and is not meant to be used as counseling or therapeutic advice. Any questions or concerns should be directed towards local professionals to gain more insight. So we have some examples of first voice stories on depression and some about intrusive thoughts and just fighting it. So here's a word for our helpers. If you're working with someone and feel like they may be thinking of suicide, be upfront about it and ask, are you thinking of suicide? You've said this, this, and this, and it has me concerned. It is always better to ask directly than jump around. There's a lot of gray area when you jump around, and people will tend to twist their words, whereas asking this direct question will only give a yes or no answer. So if you're working with someone and they have admitted that they are immediately planning to die by suicide, call emergency services as soon as you can. You can suggest that the person you are helping tries calling with you in the room for support. The person you are helping may become angry with you or plead with you not to call the professional emergency services. So depression, what is it? So in any given year, 1 in 5 Canadians will personally experience a decrease in their mental wellness. So mental illness affects all people, so all ages, education, income levels, and cultures. It tends to just really negatively affect your mood and kind of affect your sight on life. So what can affect your risk at depression? Well, some of it is genetics. Your personality type. If you tend to pick on yourself or get really overwhelmed and stressed, you'll be more likely to experience depression than someone's like, oh yeah, I did pretty good today. If you have traumatic or stressful events, you have a high chance of experiencing depression. Now, there's a sexuality piece in here. It's the lack of support from the community and finding supports in families and friends that causes the depression because they can't find those community connections. It decreases their self-esteem a bit, self-confidence, and kind of starts dragging them into this. If you have other mental health disorders, usually that can bring on depression as well. Not everyone can diagnose depression. Only psychiatric nurses, psychologists, psychiatrists, general practitioners, or your doctor, and other trained diagnosticians or therapists. This can include some counselors. So suicidal ideation and suicidal thoughts. As a helper, these are things you should look at and be very concerned at if a friend or a family member or a member of society has shown these symptoms. This is where you can jump in if you have some of that community helpers training or assist training.
Did you guys pick up on that?
Sure did. Something's wrong. Should we ask her?
If you don't have any of that training and you do have a fear, you can always call someone. There's lots of people in our community, and you can also help them get numbers. So there's a nice little scale here. Really, if you do complete the scale and you are going to talk to a helping professional, just bring the scale in. Really, this just gives the helping professional kind of a starting base to know where you're at. So intrusive thoughts, what are they?
Fear. I need a list of all the possible negative outcomes on the first day at a new school.
Way ahead of you there. Does anyone know how to spell meteor?
So intrusive thoughts come in all shapes and sizes. Anyone can experience them. When you have these thoughts, they feel like absolute fact and just not just a thought. They take a lot of work to change. Again, we'll go through some tips further in this. So some support numbers on this sheet, please take it out of the document, write your address right here, stick it on your fridge. You'll have these emergency numbers. If in case they're ever needed, there's the suicide line, suicide hotline, a text hotline, the kids helpline, Native Youth Crisis line, distress hotline. We also have therapeutic groups, so the Peace of Mind Counseling and Therapy, Peace River Mental Health Clinic, Inner Pathways Counseling, Counseling and Consulting Services, Stepping Up. So therapeutic support groups are one of the best tools to help anyone with deep or long-term depression issues. Accessing therapeutic support groups is often step one in creating a larger support network in a person's life and can be included as a self-care technique, a safety option, as a quick band-aid, and as a way to connect to positivity. So here we have 3 examples of safety plans. Feel free to take a look at those as you'd like. I think it's always handy to have one kind of on hand. It's a good, oh, someone's not doing well, or maybe I'm not doing well, or whatever, just take 5 minutes, fill it out. Some more survival tips is stay hydrated, and this is because of cortisol. We'll get to it later. Celebrating the little things. When you have depression and you're talking down on yourself, you're just kind of helping that depression monster grow. When you celebrate the little things, it really fights it. So maybe you're like, oh, I didn't do anything, but go, wait a second, I got up, I got dressed, I accomplished something. That's a good way to start to fight your depression monster. Love yourself. Know that you are worth so much. Your life is a gift. So take a moment to thank yourself for all you have done. One of the best things to do is, hey, I'm not doing so well. Now, if there's not someone that you feel comfortable telling, we have all of these numbers and these contact sheets too. They provide non-judgmental spaces and a good way for you to connect to people that can help you. So the next thing is challenge your thoughts. So we need to break our negative feelings. We need to change our thoughts. Our thoughts are only thoughts. Our opinions are only opinions. Our thoughts and opinions are not fact. So if we have a thought and it makes us feel bad, checking on that thought. Why are you thinking this? What happened to make you think this? So let's say, I think I suck. Like, I'm just the worst. The worst. Hold up. Has anyone ever said that to me? No. Have I done anything to prove that I'm the worst? No. So is there any proof to say that I'm the worst? No, but I still feel that way. That's okay, I can feel the way, but I need to know that I'm not. There's no proof, there's nothing backing up that I'm the worst. And the same is true. So that's an example of how we can challenge our thoughts. It's really just backing up and going, where is this stemming from? So it's time to take action. Depression is no walk in the park, and neither is fighting it. Fighting depression is honestly hard work, but it is worth it. There is always hope of building a brighter future and a better future for yourself. And just remember, you deserve it.
Very exciting. I was up late last night figuring out a new plan. Here it is.
So the growth mindset. This also will help you fight depression and really help you grow as a person. I try to use this often, and sometimes it does take a bit of a reminder of, I don't know everything, or, I need to be open to consider these things. It just really helps you to grow and become a better person and make you feel good inside. So promoting personal positivity. So you also need to challenge your thoughts in other ways. So maybe you're like, oh, I hate myself. Challenge that by turning it around and saying, I love myself 10 times. For every one negative thing, say a positive thing in return 10 times. These are kind of implementing positive affirmations, and it's just training your brain to replace the I hate with I like.
It was the day the Prairie Dogs lost the big playoff game. Riley missed the winning shot. She felt awful. She wanted to quit.
So you can change your past, and maybe you're like, what? No, past's written in stone. I'm not ready to hear that. You can't change your past, but you can. And it starts by changing the way you react. By changing your actions, you're taking an active role in changing both your future and what will be your past. So you can start doing this right now. It might take a few attempts, but as you continue to be conscious of your thoughts and your actions, it does become easier.
Wait! Stop! I want to get off!
I have this nice selection of positive affirmations. Again, we can use this with promoting personal positivity. So if you have any negative thoughts, again, you can choose these, or you can say all of these in one day or however you'd like, but they do help to build your self-esteem and inner strength. So number 14 is my favorite. I am capable of so much chaos and destruction. I have the power to change my surroundings, but I choose to use this power for good instead of evil. It really brings light that, we are capable of so much. If I chose to, I can go out and do so much good. I'm choosing to use all of my power and all of my strength to do stuff that does good. So we have a couple quick band-aids. So if you're not okay, but you're not in a suicidal area, a couple of these band-aids should work until you are able to get that support. There's also a nice game of self-care bingo, lots of nice little band-aids, and our tasks explained with bingo. And now on to cortisol. So cortisol is a healthy hormone. It is what fuels our fight or flight response. Cortisol also helps us to regulate our sleep, energy, and our blood pressure. But have you ever heard that too much of one good thing can be a bad thing? The same is true about this hormone. So what happens if you get too much cortisol? Well, you can get anxiety or depression, or maybe it'll worsen. You can get headaches, memory and concentration problems, or zoning out, forgetting what you sat down to do, your memory's foggy, problems with digestion, trouble sleeping, and weight gain. So how do you clear your body of this hormone? Well, lucky you, it gets out through fluids. So what does that mean? That means if you're sweating, crying, or urinating, you're getting rid of cortisol. Now, the best way to get rid of cortisol is water. The more water you drink, the faster cortisol will get out of your system. So we're on to self-care. And I am really sorry to say, but self-care isn't always that fun little bubble bath or drinking that cup of tea or putting a face mask on. Real self-care is defined as actions we take to improve our overall well-being, particularly after periods of stress. All right, thank you guys for sitting through this with me. I know it was a bit long, but I really appreciate it.
in a chair.